Hello there and welcome. My name is Brandon and today we are going to be talking about camera gear, specifically this camera, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, and all of the bits and pieces that I use to make all of our short films for Let's Get Rolling. Wow, I know what you're thinking. Brandon, what a nice shirt you're wearing. And to that I have to say, thank you. It's corduroy and orange. This is the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. Wow, it's not a new camera. It's been around for, I don't know, 4 years now. But guess what? It's still freaking cool and it's still good. And I like to shoot on it a lot because it still makes beautiful pictures. And that's the business that I'm in, is making beautiful pictures with a camera. Here's all the pieces that go into this that make this just like super run and gun, super easy to use. And yeah, it looks like a lot, but it's not really a lot. It is a lot, but it's well thought out, you could say. The camera I have inside of the Smallrig full cage. It's great, gives the camera a bunch of mounting points. I personally think it's a necessity for the camera. It makes it a lot easier to build out like this, and it makes your camera more durable. So if you do drop it, which I have dropped it before, the cage will take some of that impact, if it hits the cage, which I have done before. And the camera still works great. So next I have this Smallrig metal top handle. It's nothing fancy, it just has a bunch of mounting points on it. Lets me grab the camera and hold it, which when I do a lot of handheld shooting, I use that primarily. Next I have the Smallrig F40 follow focus, which I made a video about this before. I like it a lot. It helps me so I don't have to have my hand on the barrel of the lens the whole time, which is very helpful because I have very shaky hands. This is also good when I'm shooting bigger short films or bigger projects like Neighborhood Watch Gang, and I can have somebody pull focus for me. So from the follow focus, let's go down to the lens. I got a Meike 16mm T2.2, which is an equivalent to like a 32mm on a full frame camera. And it's all metal, it's all manual, and it's all good, and it looks great. My only complaint about the lens is that it's like heavy. It's like front heavy. So if you're trying to do just a stripped down version of just the camera and that lens, it kind of, it makes it a little bit difficult only because you're gonna have to prop the lens up with your hand a little bit. I don't think it's gonna break the camera. Moving on, I have this Smallrig lens support. It just keeps the lens from drooping down and breaking your mount. This is just a Smallrig one. Look, and I can drop it up and down. I can adjust it any way I want. You just want something sturdy, and I've gotten sturdy stuff from Smallrig always, so there we go. That one's good. Next, I have these Smallrig rails. What else do you want me to say? They're metal. There's nothing too fancy about them. They do the job. They keep this setup as compact as I can get it. Alright, so going down the rail, I actually have the camera on a quick release plate, and so I have a Manfrotto plate on here, because I use Manfrotto tripods, so that's just kind of the plates that I have. And so along with that, this allows me to, if I don't want it on the full rig and I need like a smaller rig and I just want to run this off of one battery, sliding down the rails again, we've got this Frankenstein thing here that I made that, the more I look at it, the more it doesn't make sense. So I have the quick release plate on here, which is from Axler. I have a Smallrig rod mount here, and then I have another tripod plate on the bottom. So that way I can always slap this thing on a tripod if I need to. Whether the camera's on the rails or not, I can always put it on a tripod. Alright, next up is the battery power. So for batteries, I use these V-Mout Indi Pro Tools 98 watt-hour batteries. That probably gives me like 5 or 6 hours of battery per battery. I got like a deal on B&H. It was like a deal of the day on B&H, and I got these and a charger for them. In order to mount the batteries on here, I've got it on this, it's called the Tiltaing plate. I don't know how to say it. The battery slides right in, locks in. It gives you, 14 volt out. It gives you 12 volt out. So with this, I usually power the camera with this cord here, which is like the 2-pin power cord, but I have it to D-tap. So D-tap. So this gives me full power to the Blackmagic, and then I also plug in this Sony NPF one, also into the D-tap, and this powers my Shinobi, which is the monitor that I use. Then I have this Smallrig shoulder pad, not completely necessary. I like it because I'm a wimp. I'm just not very tough. I like to have it on my shoulder if I am. And it doesn't get in the way. I have got space for it on my rail, so why not? And it adds a little bit more weight, so my camera's not as shaky. Because like I said, I got the shaky hands. Next up, I've got the Atomos Shinobi, which is this little 5-inch monitor. It's got an HDMI port. It's got an SD card slot to load LUTs onto. Only thing I wish it had was a HDMI out, but it doesn't, and that's fine. It's completely fine. I can live with it. I have this Kondor Blue Mini XLR to XLR. This has been great. I mean, it's big and it's like way too long. It's like longer than the camera, and it's coiled, so it just goes on forever, it feels like. But I found that it is more helpful to have a longer HDMI cord than a shorter one for me, because I can just wrap this around and I've got plenty of space for it. I can wrap it around the camera, and if I'm mounting a shotgun microphone to the camera, or if I'm whatever, it really stays out of the way. So it's great, and it just brings a little pop of color, which is fun too. This is the K&F Concept variable ND filter, as well as a polarizer. It does both, which is super sick. So I can get cool skies, I can get less reflections, I can shoot through windows really nicely, and it's also an ND filter. And whatever, if it does have a cast, like kind of a little bit of a color cast, like adds a little bit of a tint to your footage, I actually don't mind it, whatever the tint is. I shoot everything with this camera with these portable SSDs, so Sandisk ones, and if I do need to use one of these Sandisk ones and I need to mount it on here, I usually have a few of these bongo ties or just ties attached to the camera, so it makes it easy to mount. Oh wow, look, now it's attached to the camera. Holy crap. Alright, well, that's all I got today. If you have any questions about anything on the camera, or more questions about the camera, I can talk about them. Pretty much all of our recent short films have been shot on this. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. So, peace out. Have a good day.